What's up, hybrids? Welcome back to another episode of the Fandom Hybrid Podcast. This is Hanako, and I am here with Michelle and Casey, and we are discussing season 2, episode 4 of The Walking Dead Dead City, otherwise known as Ultimate Fighting Championship Walker Style.
Okay.
Um, okay, I'm gonna start this off with a very simple statement. Bruegel is weird.
Yes.
He is very
He's
weird.
eccentric.
He's just, yeah, I like that word. That's
Eccentric is better.
Mm-hmm.
It's eccentric.
Okay, I guess. He's just first of all, you're keeping something in your room that you're feeding rats to, and something tells me that's not a walker. Something told me that even before we got the reveal at the end. I was like,
yeah,
he was a little too controlled.
Fair. Right.
Pulling that bucket in. Then he started munching on the rats, and I was like, well, maybe it is a walker. No,
Not
it
so
wasn't.
Not so much.
Yeah, and it's like all throughout the episode, just different things that he was saying. He, when they're talking about the walker and how he's winning so many of the little fights that they have with the other communities. And then when he started talking about his bodyguard and how even after everything, the bodyguard was still loyal, I was like, then where he at? And I was like, oh, you know what? I bet you that's the bodyguard. But I thought it was a walker.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I was like, okay, so Tony the bodyguard probably died protecting him, and now he's using him as the walker to do the fights. And then stuff just started not adding up. I don't know if it was something that I was just hearing or if you guys heard it too. But when he was doing the match with the first other walker they were doing, did you hear like some grunting noises and like like when he was hitting the other walker?
I didn't pay attention to that.
I didn't either, and I'm looking at it now.
Yeah. Like, that sounds a bit human. But he moved a little like a walker, but just like the other ones, I forgot who it was Negan, I think. He was like, yeah, he moves kind of fast, he moves kind of quick. And I was like, well, we have seen some walkers move fast like that,
right? And Negan definitely has. He's seen one that like crawled on top of
the trash can, and he was like, what the fuck?
So yeah, so he's seen it.
So yeah, I was thinking, I said, okay, well, maybe he has one of those, variant walkers or something. Was not expecting that it was the actual bodyguard, like the human bodyguard. And I was like, this just made me despise you so much more. Like, I didn't care. Like, his character didn't bother me at first. I was like, okay, yeah, he's a little weird, but he's kind of funny, and he's kind of, he's putting a little bit of a comic relief to the whole situation. I was like, okay, I can deal with him. He can live, because I want everybody else on the show to die. After I saw that, I was like, oh no, you need to die a painful death, sir.
Because you've been cheating this whole entire time.
Yeah. The whole time. You done kicked folks out of their home.
Right. So I'm like, now we need to go back to, there was another fighting episode, and we need to go back and see if we can tell the difference.
Yeah, I think that was the episode where Christos lost that particular.
He did. He lost that fight
in the museum. Yeah.
So I was even like, he was like, something ain't right.
Right. Because like Nika said, it's a big Frankenstein type monster. Like, something's not right about him. Okay, so we know. But yeah, Bruegel is he's weird to me. And I think it's more so the way that he speaks, because he's very obviously putting on this fake,
but you have to remember.
And welcome. I'm like, dude, just cut through the bullshit.
Negan was that way in the beginning too. Remember how charming and charismatic he was?
And it felt fake then too. So
but it's not like we haven't seen it before. And we know people gonna put on a little showy show,
I know.
Whatever that looks like.
But I want to know what he did before, because he keeps talking about, yes, I was big and important before, and blah blah blah. What did you do?
Well, yeah. So what were you?
What were you? But okay, speaking of what people were, we finally find out what the Dama was before this thing.
She's a biter.
I really thought, what's his name? Pierce Milton 2.0. I really thought he was about to get killed.
Baby, the way she looked at him, like,
she did not like being outed like that
at all.
Because he was like, oh, now I know where I know you from. And she's looking at him like, no, you don't. I was doing this research and blah. And you can see her face just change. And she was like, I don't know, she had some weird reactions too. Because she was sitting there like, and I was like, oh, she about to explode? Is she about to explode? And she was just like, I bit him. And it was just like Negan sitting there looking at her like, Negan was getting such a kick out of it. And she knew he was getting a kick out of it, because what does she do? She brings up Hershel and the fact that she knows that Hershel is there because he was the one that sent the smoke signal.
Which we knew.
Like,
we knew that.
I mean, we knew it. I mean, it's one thing to think it and to kind of, suspect, but for her to confirm it, oh, I knew our guy was involved the minute he sent that smoke signal. And you can see Negan trying not to, he's trying not to react. He's like, what the fuck? Like, what did you do to this boy? You took his toe. He's sending you smoke signals. They're here on the, what is going on? What is going on?
And he knows. I mean, he knows, because he knows who the boy's mom is. And Dama is like very convincing and things. So he's like, yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's not right. It's a little creepy, but okay.
Right. Like, okay, this is not right. He's working with her. And I mean, even when he sees Maggie later on, their first face to face, he's like, you can't trust Hershel, which I understand him trying to warn her. And he has a valid point. Maggie even knows that something is not right with Hershel.
Right.
But you really don't think she was going to listen to that from you, right?
No.
There has to be a point where Maggie always going to have blinders on when it comes to Hershel, period. Because that's her kid. Like we all do when it comes to our children. We never want to be a serial killer.
I think it's the fact that she has blinders, because I really don't think she does, because like I said, in that first episode or that second episode, when she noticed the blue bandage, she put 2 and 2 together. And she's been asking him questions like, are you sure the city doesn't have a pull on you? Whatever. I think the thing that bothered her in this episode was the fact that Negan knew and she only suspected. It's like, how do you know this? Like, why do you know about my son? And I don't want to say she doesn't, but like I said, she's
in denial. See, that's the thing. It's like she does know, but don't really want to know and don't really want to come to that conclusion, which is like flashing lights. Like, and then someone else who hasn't even been around is telling you.
Right.
That he's doing these things, and you're like, oh no, I do know, but I just don't want it to be true, honey.
And then she sees the Dama, and she realizes that picture Hershel drew was of a real person, because Hershel told her that it was just a drawing he did. He didn't tell her it was a real person. Even though if you look at it, if you know anything about art, you knew that was a real person. That was too realistic for it not to be.
Right.
But Maggie...
But then it was the way that once Dama saw her, she was like, okay, Ian.
Oh, yeah, I know you're here.
Baby.
And I think that's probably what freaked Maggie out. She was like, wait, she just looking at me like she's not calling for anybody. She's not saying, hey, we have an intruder. She's looking at me like she already knew I was here.
And is. And what you gonna do about it?
Yeah.
She probably don't know Maggie probably at that point we know Maggie don't know the extent of the hold that Dama has on her. But Dama's looking at her like, even if she did know, okay, and what you gonna do about it? Nothing.
Yeah. She probably at that moment though figured, because they were in there and Hershel was like, oh, I could cause a distraction, or I could do such. I think she probably figured out like, oh, if this woman is real, then that's my son has seen her, or my son went looking for her. I think those pieces are starting to fit together for her, especially after, she has the conversation with Hershel earlier, right before that, about the whole firefly thing, and whether or not his recollection of it is different from what she's told him all these years. And I think she's starting to really see how screwed up her grief has made her relationship with her child. It's like every time she's learning more and more. And there are certain things I feel like she really isn't seeing. Like when they start out the episode, Pearlie, Hershel, and Maggie, they are the ones who are going to go to Manhattan to try to see if they can find out where the methane is. And they start going into like a lot of stuff from the old world, because Pearlie is like, okay, so the museum should be 2 blocks from here. Hershel's like, how do you know all this stuff? And that's when Maggie says, oh, he grew up around here. Hershel's looking at him kind of curious. So they start talking about different little things. He tells them about him and his brother cut in school, and we used to pull the fire alarm, and it was so funny because Hershel was like, what's fire alarm? And they're both looking at each other like, Pearlie and Maggie looking at each other like, oh wait, he doesn't know. And then they're sitting there trying to figure out how to explain it to him, because they probably haven't had to do that before. And they're like, it's a noise and you pull it, like, okay. And then they start talking about other things. They start talking about candy bars. I think Pearlie asked the question, what food do you miss the most? And so they have this conversation. He mentions the candy bars, and they start singing the Kit Kat song. And I don't know if you noticed it. I think this was the first time Hershel looked at his mom with a genuine smile, because I don't think he's ever seen her be silly like that before.
He hasn't.
And he's looking at her and he's smiling. And she talks about the candy bar, and she was like, the last time I had a candy bar was 3 years in. It was my birthday. And then she kind of gets quiet, and he gave it to me. And we know she's talking about Glenn, and immediately Hershel's mood changes. And I was like, Maggie, you just missed a whole opportunity here. Mm-hmm. That could have been a moment for you to talk about his father without the sadness. That was a great memory, right? It was your birthday, 3 years into a zombie apocalypse, almost all the real food is gone, and you find a candy bar. And you could have turned that into such a positive thing for Hershel, especially since you already know something's not right. And I was just like, Maggie, what is it going to take for you to learn?
A lot. Because her focus, it's like, but we said that before, like she can't see the forest from the trees. She don't realize all the damage that she's doing. You know what I mean? Her focus is so Negan focused that you missing the thing that's literally right in front of you.
Yeah.
That's how Hershel is feeling. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm literally right here.
Yeah.
You don't tell me nothing good about my dad. Our focus has been on his death, never on how he lived.
Right.
We all know Glenn was that dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the thing that she should be teaching Hershel.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How amazing her dad was. But you so focused on the way and the manner in which he died that I don't think even at this point she could try to explain the good stuff about Glenn to him and he would get it.
I'm just sitting here really wondering if she even remembers now. It's been so long, and you have
and she's
so
been so consumed.
grief. Yeah, and also, we were at Atlanta ATL Comic Convention earlier this weekend, and we did our usual Maggie panel, and there was something that I mentioned, something that I thought about last week before we did the panel. We always talk about Maggie and her grief and how she's just she doesn't know how to let go. And I hate to say it, all of that is Hershel's fault, because from a very young age, Maggie didn't know how to deal with grief. She lost her mom when she was very young. And what does Hershel do? Hershel goes out, gets drunk. He becomes an alcoholic. Maggie is pretty much left to fend for herself while she's grieving both parents, because you're grieving your mom because your mom is not here. Now you're grieving your dad because your dad is just an absentee alcoholic father now. Things get better somewhat. He gets remarried. He has Beth. They have, there's Sean. Everything is okay. Zombie apocalypse happens. Neighbors die. Your wife dies. Your stepson dies. And instead of dealing with that grief, you lock everyone in the barn because you think that they're just sick and the government is going to have a cure and make everyone better. It wasn't until Rick and his people got there and Shane forced them. Well, I won't even say Shane for Maggie. Glenn was the one who told her, this shit ain't right. This is crazy. This is sick. Y'all need to put them out of their misery, bury them, move on. So I don't even think she knows how to deal with grief because she's never had a good example. And then, of course, once the barn happened, it's like everything just started, the dominoes started falling. You lose other people. You lose what was his name? Otis. You lose Patricia. You lose
Otis wasn't really lost. Otis was
but he was her family still. You know what I'm saying? And she doesn't know the truth. She probably still doesn't know the truth about what happened. So it's been one thing after another, and she just don't know how to deal. Hershel was not a good example for her, and unfortunately, she's passing that on to her son. And not only her son, you got to see Ginny got a little bit of it too, even in this episode. Because here's another child that is in your care that you're supposed to be responsible for. You don't even know this chick is running around with a gun.
But you know who does find out she got a gun? Your favorite person in the world. It's the IRO.
I want her to die. I want Nevaeh to die. I want her to die a painful death. Even though I would say she wasn't all that bad in this episode. She got a little snarky with Pearlie. And then I think she saw an opportunity with Ginny. Again, and you know what? It struck me. I was like, oh, this is kind of sort of how the Dama got in with Hershel. Nevaeh is getting in with Ginny because she's like, okay, you got my gun, but let me tell you the history behind this gun. She was like, when all this stuff started, I had family all around me, and then everybody was gone, and I was by myself for a very long time. And then Governor Byrd found me. She gave me home. She gave me a purpose. She taught me the law. She gave me this gun. And when she finds out that
you to be an a-hole too? Sorry.
No, but you know what? She probably became that because she was on her own for so long.
Okay.
That could do it to a person.
Or the power, but okay.
That's definitely the power. Because you see how she talks to can't carry no talking to Pearlie.
Oh, she's just mad because he won't let her try to recruit those folks. But when she's having a conversation with Ginny and she gives Ginny back the gun because she was like, yeah, when people get murdered, there's supposed to be retribution. She was like, that's what Governor Byrd taught me. So where's the retribution for you killing all the people that you done killed? But anyway, she gives Ginny the gun.
That part.
Ginny turns around and she was like, hey, so you said the guy who killed your father was on the island. And Ginny just turns and looks at her and she gives her like this slight nod. She says, was his name Negan? I said, God damn it. Like, why would you even think that out of all the people, why are you focused on Negan? Nobody else?
Because that way she know that Dan Pearlie is a liar and a traitor.
But why would you even think of, like, it's been a year. Y'all haven't even thought about Negan. Why would you?
Because everybody else thinking about Negan. So let's just throw his name in the pot.
Everybody else got reason to think about Negan. Everybody else.
Who else could it be? I mean, that's where everybody has the issues.
And especially with Pearlie, Hershel, and Maggie being the ones to go off. Them the ones knowing that Negan is the one to negotiate. You don't think she like?
Yeah, she might be smart enough to figure that out. I mean, I don't know how she couldn't even figure out how to. She couldn't even figure out a strategy of getting them on the island without including a boat. But anyway,
she irritating, not stupid.
No, she a little bit on the stupid side too. She is.
I'm trying to give her a little credit.
She just happened to be a little smart in this episode. Like, she saw some stuff was off, and she's like, okay, but. That's gonna be a problem for Pearlie if Ginny told her the answer. That's about to be a problem for Pearlie for real.
Anyway. I mean, I said it's gonna be a problem anyway. Because hell, wasn't Negan picture on his photo was on the little wanted sign, right? It wasn't just his name. So anybody from it don't even have to necessarily be Nevaez. Anybody who sees him will know that Pearlie didn't kill him. Because it was like a whole wanted post.
Because he was wanted.
But everybody else is there in the thing. The only people who went to Manhattan was Maggie, Pearlie, and Hershel.
But no. I'm saying the people from New Babylon. They was on that boat. They know Negan was wanted.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody else cares that whether he's dead or alive.
They all about the law. They do care that he's alive.
That part, because if you told your people, I killed Negan with my own two hands, they'd have praised you. You the giant slayer, and then they find out you lied.
I don't know if there's anybody else. Are there any other New Babylon people? Because we know that there are people that they conscripted from other communities. Are there any other New Babylon people with her aside from Pearlie?
Yes.
Who?
What the mirror with them?
Wait a minute. Your voice is going up. I can't hear.
Wasn't the mayor with them? She the one who got ate by the tree. Remember the woman?
Yeah, but I'm talking about who's there now. Like, who else is wondering about Negan? Nobody else. Nobody cares about Negan except for her. And I'm guessing she's probably only thinking about Negan because she's trying to figure out a way to get Pearlie out the way so she can be in charge, so she can make these these people.
So if with her knowing that Negan is alive, once she confirms that, she can then arrest Pearlie, and now she's in charge.
Yeah.
So it matter. She want to be in charge so bad. You know how people who gotta be in charge. You know how we all know them people.
I know.
So it matters to somebody. It matters to her. If nobody else, it matters to her. Because then once she lock him up, oh well, why'd you lock him up? Oh, because he said he killed Negan and he did.
But here's my question. I wonder if she gonna be
right though?
Huh?
You said you wonder what?
I said, I wonder if she's gonna be dumb enough to try to go after Negan once it's known that he's alive. Like, is she gonna try to do that so that she can be?
No, I don't know. Her focus is gonna be Pearlie.
Yeah,
her focus is gonna be Pearlie.
No, I'm talking about after Pearlie. When she gets Pearlie out the way, now you got to do something else to, I guess, kind of cement your position. Because, you exposed him for the lie, but technically speaking, if Negan is still alive, he's still a wanted man. Yeah. So are you about to be stupid enough to try to go after this man? Because I'm sorry.
Oh, no, she's not.
I get it. You think you're big and bad and you got a mouth. you ain't nothing compared to Negan.
But that's why she gave the gun. That's why she gave the gun back to Ginny. She ain't gonna be the one to do it. Because if Ginny already knows Negan, she's one step closer to getting.
So she can get rid of him for
correct. Her. Because if he sees Nevaez, he's gonna be like, "What the fuck is it?" and get the hell on. He gonna know she's from New Babylon. No, I'm not sticking around for this. But Ginny,
or he'll kill her.
Maggie. Or he'll kill her. Same thing as Maggie, though. Maggie can get close to Negan because of the, it's the history that they have.
Yeah,
Ginny can get close, even though she pissed off that she upset. She can get close to Negan because if Negan remember last time he saw her, I killed your daddy. Get away, go. Let them take care of you. So to find out she back on the island, because in that he didn't see her he only saw Hershel and Maggie, right?
He only saw Hershel on the boat. He saw Maggie for the first time in this episode. So yeah, he didn't see her, he didn't see Maggie on the boat.
Oh, I thought he saw her in the binoculars too. Okay.
Okay.
So if he only saw Hershel, if he only saw Hershel, then yeah, this is gonna be his first time seeing Ginny. So she would be because he'd be like, "What are you doing here? Come, let me make sure you're safe."
Yeah, I was gonna say he should be asking that question now because Hershel is on the island, Maggie is on the island, so at some point he's gonna be like, "Well, where the fuck is Ginny? Did y'all leave her behind?" And that's not gonna happen because what happened the last time Ginny got left behind? She got her ass in that damn cooler and rolled herself across across the river.
The superest, strongest cooler in creation.
Girl, it must have been an igloo. It had to be.
Baby. It's gonna get across the damn river.
Right. Okay. Going back to the Dama. Again.
She needed to die too.
I don't understand. I just
it's gonna be a while before that happens.
I know.
It's gonna be a while. You already know.
I feel like it, but it's like at the beginning of the episode, she's in the back of the car. She's saying, her little stuff. And again, every time Negan doesn't give her the energy she wants him to give, she mentions his family. She mentioned them, 3 or 4 times in this episode? I was like, Lucille is about to go across your head. But she doesn't, even when they're on the way to Bruegel, the Croat is like, why are we going over here to kiss his ass? Like, we hold all the cards, we hold all the power. We're the ones who got rid of the New Babylonians. Like, what did he do? Nothing. Why are we going over here? She was like, well, we just won the battle. We haven't won the war yet. We still need his people, so we got to go play nice. Why are you even in charge? Why? And then you get in there to the dinner. Bruegel is clearly being condescending, even though he's like putting it off as charming. This motherfucker is condescending as hell. And you're just still, I thank you for the gift that you gave me, blah, 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 blah. Why are you in charge? And then you sit down to eat. And you let a little 20-something-year-old tell all your business about what you used to be and how rattled you are. And you are clearly rattled because when you start talking about Hershel, what about the little drawing that you showed me? Who did you say did it? Oh, I think you said his name was her. She was rattled. Again, why are you in charge? You can't even hold it together when somebody calls you out. Negan's sitting over there like, oh, this is fun to watch. Negan is taking notes. They over here riling the Croat up. The Croat is getting all upset because he don't want to share the method. I thought about you, Casey, when Bruegel suggested it. He was like, why don't we just build a second one and you share with us how to make it and we'll just go from there. That's what you should be doing, right? If we all want to get along, if we want to have a kumbaya moment.
That's what I said. That was all.
But the Croat said, fuck no. And he said it with some force. Absolutely not.
But Bruegel had a point. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Had a point. There is no reason for one, and that's the thing. Having one person be the person over everything is how we get to, because it's always going to be somebody coming for you. But if you have it, and you have, not saying they had to be on the grand scale that the Croat and Dama had it, you can make them mini labs, mini methane studios, mini ones. So you got one over here, so nobody can corner the market on it. And then if New Babylon do come in and take over, they ain't got all of it.
Right.
Because you got to go to all these places to secure it. You know what I'm saying? So he had the right idea.
He did, but the Croat didn't like it. And the Croat was trying to expose
the Croat is not in charge.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm almost to the point where I feel like he should be.
He should. Because I should be.
I just don't understand why the Dama is so important. She clearly can't hold her emotions together. Now, yes, she can do some manipulating. She got that part down pat.
She can read people very well, though.
She can read people. But
read them enough to be in charge of everybody?
You don't have the strength, obviously. You don't really have the show of force because, let's be honest, the Barazzi, those are the Croats dudes, right? I've never heard them take an order from her. So it's just, I don't understand what it is about her. Maybe she does have a way of manipulating all of them, and we just haven't seen it. But I'm just like, this chick, like, I kind of feel like when she does get undone, it's going to be on such a spectacular level because I feel like she's not even going to expect it. Because Negan is obviously taking notes and paying attention.
Yeah.
And I think even the Croat is, he's paying attention. I think what Negan said in the last episode is kind of sticking with him about how she treats him like the redheaded stepchild, how she treats him like, the thing on the bottom of her shoe. He's starting to notice this because he's like making suggestions to her. He's trying to tell her, okay, look, sharing the methane is not good. By the end of the episode, when they get ready to leave, instead of Negan sitting up front with him, she's like, Negan, join me in the back. So you've basically reduced the Croat to a chauffeur. And again, none of your power, none of what you're offering these people would even exist without this man. Because who gonna make the methane? You?
That's the thing. He don't know his own damn power.
I don't know. I mean, obviously he still feels indebted to her for saving him, but good grief, dude. This is, I don't know. Can we consider this like Stockholm syndrome to the nth degree?
You could, because he's blindly. You could, even though she's the alpha in this relationship, he is very much a beta. Very, very much. He is one of those people who need somebody to tell him what to do. So even though he's smarter, he knows, more than basically everybody there, he don't have an alpha in him to lead. Which is why even when Negan was the leader, he's the lapdog. He don't know how to be an alpha.
Yeah. Well, so I don't even if I want to say he doesn't know how. I would say more so he doesn't want to be, because when he stood up and called Bruegel out in front of everybody, that was an alpha move. That was big dick energy.
To me, that was just like frustration. I didn't get alpha from that.
You didn't?
I didn't.
He literally just told everybody, he was like, yeah, you cheating. And I'm gonna tell you how you cheating. And no, we're not gonna do this. I don't think anybody else would have stood up to Bruegel like that.
To me, I think that was more frustration than anything. I didn't get and I'm in charge vibe. This is, you know how it's always one person you be like, I'm so tired of this shit. It was one of them. I'm so tired of this shit. I know you cheating.
He has the potential.
It wasn't a, I'm gonna tell you, I know you cheating. This is what you're doing. I'm about to take control of the situation. This is how somebody finally got frustrated, and it's the outburst of, I'm over this shit.
But here's the question. If we hadn't been introduced to the Dama, would you still feel that way? Because remember, we went the entire first season thinking he was the one in charge. He was very much acting like the alpha. It was only when we were introduced to the Dama that we're like, oh, you're not the one in charge. And that we've seen his behavior kind of change. But if we hadn't have been introduced to her, would you still feel that way?
Yes, because even in the first season, remember how he was so boy-like when he saw Negan, he was like, oh, trying to get approval. Oh, do you see what I did for you? Oh, do you see what I did for you? Oh, do you see what I did for you? He was always, even in the first season, trying to get that approval from, we didn't know about the Dama, but he's trying to get that approval even from Negan. Even though Negan ran him off and exiled him, all of that, he still give me your approval. Tell me you approve of the things that I'm doing. So he was never going to be no alpha. He had that air of mystery where where is this going?
But he did a good job acting like one because people thought he was crazy.
That part.
So before we realized that he had some self-esteem issues when Negan came along, he didn't show that to everyone else. The Dama knows because she know how to read people. Negan knows, but everyone else was afraid of him. So he was kind of like their alpha because they didn't know he was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
He did some weird things.
Yeah,
true. Which also caused him to get
that was scary.
Sanctuary. So it's not like we ain't know.
Yeah,
but they don't. But see, they don't know that he's weak. They're just thinking, okay, we just don't want to cross him because he does some.
He might put me in the tank next.
And even in the first season, I don't think Maggie wasn't scared of him himself. She was scared of what they would do to Hershel. So I don't think there was ever, for me, I don't think there was ever like a fear of him. It's the worry of, I need to get my son back because you threatened to kill him if I don't bring you Negan. But I don't think she was scared of the Croat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm scared of your threat. I'm not scared of you.
Okay. Yeah.
But that's just my thought.
But I mean, let's be honest. Maggie don't scare easily.
She's scared for Hershel.
I know, but I'm saying as far as how she's treating, in general. Like, because even with Pope, like, she was scared for what he would do to her people and for what he did to her people. But when it came time for her to go up against him, she was like, oh no, we're about to go do this. We're about to go take this back. Like, Maggie ain't never been one to back down.
True.
So, but okay. Still going with the Croat real quick because was he the one that actually set the fire, or was Negan the one that set the fire to the painting?
Hershel was.
Okay, I thought that too, but
they
then
were all in that room together, remember? And then they all ran to go see where the thing was. And when it was knocked over, Dama saw the door close.
Okay, that's what I thought I saw, but I wasn't sure. I was like, okay, is he the one that said it? Because when she went to Negan like she thought Negan did it, because she was like, okay, they're smart and then they're stupid and, whatever. And he was like, well, he kind of played it off like he was the one that did it. So I don't know.
But no, they was all together.
Okay.
Because then remember when they were in that room, Dama saw the door close, and then remember Maggie whistled. And so that's why Negan went and left.
I do remember that. And that's what was throwing me off, because I thought it was Hershel at first. But then when I rewatched it, for Dama to come at him and say, okay, you know what? There's what did she say? There's stupid and there's something else. She basically, it's almost like she thought that he was the one that did it, or he was the one that had it done, whatever, because I'm like, okay, that painting went up fairly fast. So he couldn't have set it on fire when they were in there the first time. But the Croat kind of stayed behind then. So I was like, okay, so did he rig something to make it go up? So that's why I was all confused. Oh, that's what it was. She said there's liking the underdog, and then there's just being stupid. And he was like,
but I thought she was talking for that. I thought she was talking about the fight.
Oh, okay. See, I thought because they were in the room and the fire was actively going, I thought she was approaching him like, did you do this? Like, I know we were looking for a distraction in some way to throw Bruegel off his game, but this is stupid.
Right.
Okay.
No, I thought that comment was in reference to saying, remember, because he was like, I could pick any walker and they could beat your guy. And remember, that's when he got the guy out the tow truck who didn't have nothing, you know.
Okay.
That was my interpretation of it.
Okay. Because I would have thought if she would have said something like that, she would have said it while they were in the room. She probably would have looked at him and be like, excuse me, what the fuck you doing? Like,
yeah, no, I took that as the Walker fight.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because remember, he was in the Walker fight, he was like, we don't need that. We don't need, and remember, he just put the oil on him.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And see, I was thinking that was just a distraction. Like, let's do all this stupid stuff. Let's make Bruegel actually sit here.
I thought it was a distraction too.
So that's what I thought. And then of course
I just played it again.
After. Yeah. So okay. But yeah, you saying it's Hershel, that does make sense because Hershel was supposed to find a distraction. He
set the paint on fire.
And then went to go find his other mama.
Girl.
I'm telling you.
That's not creepy at all.
I just, and the way she was with him, she was like, well, isn't this a nice surprise? I was like, okay, this is, I don't know.
It's not a surprise. You knew he was coming.
I know. But maybe there was a small part of her that thought, okay, you know what? He's back with his mother. Maybe, maybe there was a small part of her.
No. No. Not even a minuscule part.
No. Right. Especially after he set the fire. You knew he was there. You knew he was coming. So, I mean, she got her hooks in them.
Hook.
Oh, she definitely does.
Right. But let's talk about this conversation with Negan and Maggie, because again, this is the first time they've seen each other for a year. And when he sees her, was I the only person who felt like he was happy to see her and he was hoping that she was coming to rescue him? He seemed to give off that vibe a little bit, to the point where she was like, I'm not here for you. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. She tried to make it real clear, but he was so soft-spoken with her. And I was like, Negan thinks she coming to break him out.
No, I think Negan's always going to handle Maggie with kid gloves. Always. He like, because even like Hershel said, he feel like he owe her. So he always going to handle her with kid gloves. I think Maggie could be a total asshole to him, and he's still gonna be like, oh, you know what I mean? She's gonna have that soft. I mean, he's gonna have that soft spot for her.
Yeah, but I don't know. I felt like
it's getting old.
I felt like that was a little different though. Like he was really looking at her like, oh, you came back for me. She was like, no, I came back because I need you to give me some information. He was like, the fuck? He was like, don't you notice a pattern here? Like you keep talking about how you hate me and you keep doing this stuff, but then you got to come to me for help. You come to me when you need me. And even with Pearlie up at the top, Pearlie was like, look, we ain't got much time. We need to know where the methane is, blah, blah, blah. He was like, yeah, whatever. I ain't talking to you. Maggie, I want to hear it from you. Maggie is like,
because he has a soft spot for her, which he will always have. Yeah. Nothing's gonna take that soft spot away.
I know, but like I said, I just felt like it was a little bit more hopeful at first. Like, oh, did she come back to get me? then when she was like, I'm not here for you, he had to immediately kind of, well, I didn't think it was, I thought it was weird that you would come back to get the guy that you put in here in the first place. But, she's upset because, again, here she is. She left him in a situation where she thought he was a prisoner. And when she comes back, he's free as a jaybird. This ain't the first time, because that's what happened when she got to Alexandria. But then when he tells her the reason for doing what he's doing, she's just like, okay, I just need to know where the methane is. And he was like, I can't, because I'm trying to protect people. And if I tell, they're going to hurt those people. She's like, who? And he didn't even have to say anything. She was like, oh, Annie and Joshua. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, you know what? I actually do like them, so whatever. But then he gets her location.
He told her anyway.
Yeah, like you said, soft spot. Yeah, soft spot. But now I'm wondering how that's going to work, because when the episode ends, Pearlie, Maggie, and Hershel, they have gotten back together. They are on the roof. And Pearlie asked Maggie, he was like, did Negan give you any useful information? And she looks like she's about to tell him. And of course, the episode goes off. But now I'm kind of like, you don't need to say nothing in front of Hershel. You don't need to say nothing about anything Negan told you in front of Hershel, because I feel like Hershel gonna run tail.
Yeah, he is.
I think that's what the hesitation was. I don't think she wanted to. Part of her believes Negan. Part of her believes him.
Because she thought it before Negan said it. Negan confirming it, I think, just pissed her off. Because she's like, God damn it, if anybody else had told me that my son was working for the enemy, it would have been fine. But you gotta tell me that, because she probably feels like at some point Negan's gonna rub that in her face. But I don't think he would do that because of everything. But still, it's got to grate her nerves that Negan was the one who was like, yeah, so your boy, he helping them out over here. And Meg is like, who are you talking about? But of course, everybody's coming back in, so he can't tell her. And then, like you said, she sees the Dama, and the Dama just looks at her like, hey, I'm here.
And did.
But like we said, the Dama is not strong. So I don't think she wants to take Maggie in a fight, but I think Maggie is going to have a difficult time with the Dama, because she knows how to get to Hershel in ways that Maggie doesn't. And I think that's what's going to happen. I don't know. I don't know if the Dama would hurt Maggie. I think she just, I don't know. She just wants Hershel, because Hershel has a vision for Manhattan that nobody else has. I get it. I don't think she would hurt his mama, but I think she's going to make Maggie, I think she's going to make Maggie regret neglecting her son.
She do that now.
Even more so.
Even
more so. Because you have your own guilt, but even for Maggie, I just feel like that guilt is not, I don't think it's strong enough yet, because you still doing some of the same shit.
You have to be thinking something, because your child been keeping things from you.
Right.
Like, you got to be realizing that y'all don't have a close relationship. Y'all don't talk.
Mm-hmm. Your son let you walk around for years telling this same old story that actually wasn't the story, that wasn't accurate. And why? Because he caught you crying and he wanted to make you feel better. He's the child. You're the adult.
That part. That's the whole part. You're the adult.
Not saying that there's anything wrong with that, because our children, they do that. They see us sad. They try to make us, feel better. They try to cheer us up. But Hershel has had to do that his whole life, because Maggie can't let go of what happened. And I'm pretty sure he doesn't have to do that with the Dama. So yeah, Maggie's gonna have a difficult time from this point on, especially now that she has a face, like an actual face, like you know that this is an actual person.
Yeah.
So now you know your son's been lying to you. Does the city have a pull on you? No, it's not the city. It's a person. It's a person.
Yeah.
I need her to get it together. But you know what? I like the conversation that she and Pearlie had. Pearlie is not getting on my nerves as much now because I think after the conversation they had today or in this episode, I kind of understand when you're a parent and you are worried about your children's safety, you're going to do whatever it is that's going to ensure that safety. So I can't fault him for too much. You really were dumb telling them that Negan was dead, though, because you got to know somebody as charismatic as Negan, he's not going to stay quiet for long. Absolutely. He's not going to stay hidden for long. So I think that's where he messed up. But even in this episode, he and Maggie are having a conversation, and he's talking about how he's doing everything for his kids. He said, but I'm wondering, he said, I'm working so hard to bring back a world that my daughters don't even know. It makes you wonder, are we doing this for them or are we doing it more for us? And I think that kind of struck a nerve with Maggie because you do have to think about that, not just in the terms of what they're doing with the world or trying to get the methane or trying to rebuild, but she's got to think about that in terms of Hershel too. Like, am I doing all of this? Am I being angry for his sake or am I doing it for me? And obviously you're doing it for you because Hershel, it's almost like Hershel don't even want to hear about his dad anymore because all he's going to hear about is the bad stuff and the sad stuff.
Which is unfortunate because, like I said, Glenn was a good dude.
Yeah. And you could have told your son about all the good things he did, but like I said, maybe it's gotten to the point where it's so clouded in her mind now because all she's remembering is the pain and the hurt and the anger. Like, can you even remember all the other stuff? Or has that been clouded over by the mean stuff? Do you remember the pharmacy run? Do you remember, all the other stuff early on? Do you remember the prison? Do you remember getting, like, all of those things? Or is it just Negan?
Because I mean, there's so much, and not even just saying she has to share only shit about Glenn. Because keep in mind, this is zombie apocalypse, so her time with Glenn wasn't that long. But you still had you still had an aunt, you still had a grandfather, you still had. She grew up. Tell them how. Tell them that world. Yes, tell them about that life.
Yeah,
your main focus is on how your daddy.
Right, and things that he doesn't know about.
Yeah, like fire alarms.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just like he was saying, I just don't see what's so good about the old world anyway, because you haven't been told about the good stuff in the old world.
No, he hasn't.
Yeah, you haven't been told anything about anything except the fact your daddy died.
Right.
Everything else
was. Right. And that's heavy for us adults to carry. I mean, we see how she's carrying it. You putting that on a child. Mm-hmm. Hershel was what, 15, 16, but he's been hearing this all his life.
And I'm sure he's over it. Like, girl.
Very much so.
The song.
Right. Like the whole
at this point, we tired of it. You got diehard Glenn fans. Team Glenn all day.
All day.
But even some of us Team Glenn folks is like, okay, we get it. We get it.
Mm-hmm.
And because was Hershel religious? Or am I remembering that wrong?
Kind of, sort of.
But my thought is, for your dad to be somewhat religious, forgiveness, that was a lesson you skipped?
But I don't really think Maggie was. I think Maggie, because when we met her, I think Maggie was even then kind of sort of a little on the angry side. because she had lost her mom, then she lost her stepmom, and then, like I said, you're dealing with Hershel being a drunk, and then this thing happens to the world. You lose your stepmom, you lose your brother, you lose your aunt, your sister tries to kill herself. I mean, it's a lot.
Yeah, true.
It's a lot.
There's still other things that she could be focused on. I'm just saying.
I agree.
That's all I'm saying.
Like we said, damn near 20 years later, you can't. You gotta let that go. She's poisoning her, not just her son. She's poisoning herself.
Yeah.
So, and I'm glad she had that little confessional to Pearlie, where she was like, I know I seem hard all the time, but inside I'm terrified. Finally, I'm so glad you said it out loud.
Mm-hmm.
Because somebody needs to be able to look and see through all of that. And I think her admitting to Pearlie that Negan was the one that killed her husband, I think Pearlie may understand her a little bit better now. And he's like, okay, we got to figure this out. We got to stick together, but we got to do this smart. And I was like, okay, Pearlie, you might be all right. We'll see.
Not we'll see.
I'm just saying, right now he is probably second on my list of characters to hate on this show. No, you know what? No, because I think Nevaeh's is first.
Yeah, she is.
The Dama is second because she just irritates me to no end. I don't understand why she's in charge. So I'm irritated by that. And then maybe Pearlie, because I will say this for the Croat, I don't think I've ever hated his character to the point where I was like, you need to die. I don't know.
I find no point in his character. Like, I don't wish him to die, but like, I can give or take.
Yeah.
Pearlie. I can give or take him. Like, I'm like, I maybe will change in the future or something, but right now I'm like, you could be in the episode or not. I don't really care.
Yeah.
And why this his face all the time?
Right. Because it is. I'm sorry. It is.
He always got that eyebrow furrowed.
Because he's realizing, I think as more and more time goes by, he is realizing that he is not as high up on the totem pole as he thinks he is. Like he told Negan in the last episode, he was like, the Dama and I are partners. I don't think she looks at you that way. Even when she talks to Negan at the beginning of this episode, she was like, this is why we needed you. She said, he's too emotional. He's too volatile. We need to make these negotiations work. We need to keep a calm head. And she was telling him, I need you to keep him calm. She's treating the Croat like he's a child that needs to be handled, that needs to be babysat. Mm-hmm. And I think he's really starting to see that, like, okay, she really is not treating me the way a partner would treat me. Because if that was the case, knowing where their power comes from, she wouldn't even consider Bruegel's plan. If she was his true partner, she would discuss it with him first and be like, okay, so is this smart? Is this something that we can do? Like, is this going to be a problem? No, she didn't think about that.
Because she don't care.
I know.
She don't give a damn about him at all.
But I think now he's starting to realize she don't care. Like, really, really realize. But that's kind of that manipulation that Negan is doing. Negan is planting those bugs in his ear. Yeah, she treating you like her red-headed stepchild. Why does she talk to you like that? Ain't you important?
Apparently the fuck not. Not to the Dama. He important enough to make the methane and get
that's about it. Because he's not getting the results. Bruegel was trying to get the second facility. Negan figured out a way to get around that because Negan also suspected something wasn't right with that fighter. So you put in another fighter, you kind of tweak the odds a little bit, and then when the fighter gets real close to you, you happen to look up and realize, oh, wait, those are human eyes I'm looking at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because when he pulled his arm to hold him, the guy was like,
Yep.
Yeah.
So you whisper a little something in Bruegel's ear, and all of a sudden Bruegel like, yeah, so you know that thing I said I wanted to do, I don't want to do it anymore. We're good. We're good.
Been caught.
We can
no
play
conditions.
Nice.
But then you should play that. You should play that better. Like you can't always win.
Yeah.
So you occasionally need to put a walker. He also occasionally you got to put a walker in though, like a real walker.
I was gonna say he can't kill his friend.
Yeah, but he can put occasional, like when the best did he?
At the end?
No, at the end he was his friend. No, she's saying before that.
Yeah, when you having these matches. Because then it starts to be like,
But he was only doing that, like that wasn't his friend. That was his means to an end. That was something that was helping him.
Because the way he killed him so quick at the end, I said, "Oh, well,
so quick. Right." We were so close. You've been like he is human, and you've been feeding him raw rats.
Raw rats, girl.
Raw rats. You've been having him dress up and act like a fucking walker so that you can win all the riches and have the nice suits and eat the nice food. I mean, even they had cooked a rat. I mean, and this man gets close to Negan, which you got to blame Negan for that. Negan was the one who kind of weaved his way in there. That wasn't Dude's fault, but he's right. My secret is up. They know, or if not, they know. Negan knows, and you know,
someone knows.
Negan can use that to his advantage, and Bruegel is like, nope, we're not going to do that. Nope, I've already lost enough. And he slit his throat. I was like, I felt so bad for.
That's why I said he did that so quick,
so quick. But then he was like, yeah, well, I got a tip, so. Yeah, I'm not out of the game yet. And then he looks into the Central Park, and I'm like, who the hell told you that something was in Central Park? But apparently he had something in there, because even when they got there, he asked the Dama and them, he was like, so did you guys find what you were looking for in the park? I was like,
I thought he had lookouts there anyway.
Probably.
Because somebody had said there's lookouts in the park. That was not Roxana. Was her name Roxana?
Roxana.
Yeah, because I thought she had said something about lookouts in the park. They're always watching.
Okay. What? All right. So Negan is about to become the Dama's best friend. Look like. She's like, hey, come sit in the back with me. I told you, I think she got a little crush on Negan. But
not if the Croat got anything to do.
I need her backstory. I mean, we got a little bit. We just really got her career.
Yeah.
I need the true backstory.
Yeah. But I'm telling you, she got one more time to mention Negan's family. Because every time she said it, his face turned stormy. Even at the beginning of the episode, you did it just because he said, I'm on it, boss. Like, he wasn't being sarcastic. He wasn't being a smart ass. You told him to do something. He was like, all right, boss. And then you're like, sarcastic. Your family, and his face just changed. I said, oh, she really wants Lucille going across her head.
It's not going to end well for her. That's all I can say. It's not going to end well for you, man.
It's not. It's not. But I don't know. Do we need to talk about anything else? I know Michelle has to go.
No, this one was pretty much. It was a centralized episode with the
UFC
celebrity death match.
Mm-hmm.
I think it really, a lot happened, but not a lot happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was more
exposition
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think we did hit all the points.
So we did find out that they have been renewed for season 3.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then this is also San Diego Comic-Con week. I don't know if they'll have anything for Dead City because Dead City literally just ended maybe 2 months ago. We are going to have some Daryl Dixon information. I think I saw that there's supposed to be a full-length trailer released this week. So it would have already been released by the time this episode is published. So we'll share that information on our Facebook page as we get it. But no final thoughts for this episode?
Don't try to scam in the apocalypse.
Okay. And on that note, that is it for our show. You can find us online at www.fandomhybrid.com. We are on social media, on all the social media at Fandom Hybrid. You can watch our videos on our YouTube channel. You can chat with us on our Discord channel, and you can listen to us on all major podcast streaming platforms. Thanks for listening. We hope you join the conversation next time.